Well, a lot is happening right now in the city of Palm Springs, from a new city manager to a new program aimed at helping restaurants to a mass vaccination clinic at the convention center. I spoke today with former mayor and current city council member Geoff Kors. Geoff, it's great to see you again. Thanks so much for joining us.
Sure. Thanks for having me, Peter.
Little did I know when I scheduled this interview with you, there would be breaking news right before we started. The city of Palm Springs now has a new city manager. What can you tell us about him?
We do. So we had 75 applications. We had great candidates. It was really amazing how many people wanted to come and take over this city manager position in Palm Springs. So we're really fortunate. And Justin, who's the city manager for the last 6 years in Sedona, Arizona, was who has been selected. He brings a wealth of experience in innovative use of technology and engaging residents and sustainable tourism. And we're really impressed by his energy and knowledge of Palm Springs. And so we're looking forward to him and his family are moving here. He has 2 young children, 3 and 5. So we're very much looking forward to his starting. We expect that to be in early April.
Sedona is pretty similar to Palm Springs in a lot of ways.
Yeah, there are definitely similarities. There are definitely differences. But I think he brought a lot of really interesting ideas and theory in running a city that will really, I think, be beneficial for our residents and our businesses. So we're very much looking forward to it. We've had a great 20-year run with David Reddy. He's transformed Palm Springs. He's done an amazing job. And we're really fortunate to have someone great coming as the next city manager.
All right, let's talk about local businesses. The city has now joined forces with the Palm Springs Bureau of Tourism, the Palm Springs Chamber of Commerce, and also several local businesses to help struggling restaurants. What can you tell us about that?
Sure. So this new program, which really came through the chamber, and we're supporting financially and working with them to promote it. What it'll do is, for people who order takeout from Palm Springs restaurants, they'll get a 10% coupon that they could use time and time again as long as they spend $30. And the funds that are going to this program, which the chamber will be running, will then replace the $10 to the restaurant. So it's a way to give a break to our residents and encourage them to order takeout to help our restaurants at no cost to the restaurants. So we're very excited about this. Really, I'm liaison to the chamber, and Nona Watson, the CEO, came up with this idea and we ran with it. And we're really excited that they're taking a leadership role and that we could help support this effort.
What is the overall reaction in the city to the lifting of the stay-at-home order? Do you think the timing is right, or is it too soon?
We've heard from people who think it's too soon and others who think more restrictions should be lifted or that we shouldn't enforce the law. So we've heard from both sides, and that's typical and not surprising. People have different opinions. But when we look at the data, I wasn't that surprised. The state website shows the forecast on ICU bed capacity, which was the criteria that was used to do the shutdown. It wasn't whether certain things were safer than others. It was to avoid people going out and taking up ICU beds when there was no capacity. And it's not just COVID, right? People have car accidents. They have heart attacks. They have strokes. There are other reasons people need ICU beds. So the shutdown was based on those projections, and the reopening is based on them. What the data showed was that in 4 weeks, they're expecting Southern California region to have 33% extra ICU bed capacity. So that was the reasoning. And if you look at the state, there are 35% fewer new infections than just a week ago. So the data is moving in the right direction. Now, we test our wastewater treatment every week, and we've seen over the last month, when we saw 1,000% increase and an expectation that we had 6,000 active cases of COVID in Palm Springs, over the last 4 weeks, that's dropped in half. So our numbers correlate with what we're seeing from the state. So that's all really good news. That said, we need everyone to be hyper vigilant right now. Riverside County still has the highest number of new cases per capita per 100,000 people of any county in the state of California. So there's a lot of COVID still happening in Riverside County. There was a study from UCSF that shows that essential workers that are much higher risk of getting COVID and dying from COVID than other people, with the number one category being cooks. People who are working close quarters, confined spaces. So be really courteous and appreciative of the essential workers that are providing so much for us, because they're dying at a higher rate than other people. And I'm really glad to see that the state's going to move them up, food workers and others, agricultural workers, in the vaccine program, because they're at risk every single day they go to work.